Hello, my name is Ivan, and I'm making a video showing my game 420 Don't Blaze It. This game is a game about drugs, and the educational goal of my game is to teach the user about the consequences of taking drugs. The educational context of my game would be best suited for students at school still learning about life. High school students are my target audience because it is in high school where drug use is most prevalent. My game educates these students to make the right decision when the time comes. My game consists of an array of images that creates the board. The board is shown right here. A triangle indicates the user's progress, right here, and two sets of J buttons which represent different scenarios. Here you see different text scenarios right here. This is how the game works. The user chooses which J button they think has the correct decision in association to the drug the triangle is pointing to. For instance, the triangle is pointing to a specific drug right here. If they click the wrong scenario, the panel changes to a loss sequence, which tells the user why the scenario they selected was the incorrect choice. So here's an example. At a party, your classmates offers you meth. You refuse because you don't want to take a chance. Obviously, this sounds like the right choice. And right here, you see, at a party, your classmates offers you meth. You don't want to look like a buzzkill, so you take it. Well, as we know, this one's the correct one. So if we click this button, it'll go to the next scenario. And assuming this one is incorrect, which it is, you click the incorrect one, and it'll go to a loss sequence. Each time the triangle moves to the right after the user has selected a correct button, this indicates that a new scenario is being presented as shown by the change in the text of the buttons. Here you see I'll click a correct button and the text will change. This represents variation in my game and differing levels as the user progresses. My scenarios get trickier to answer as the user progresses forward to the right. The code highlighted right here represents my array of strings. These are the texts belonging to each set of buttons in a given scenario. For instance, here I'm highlighting one specific scenario belonging to the correct set of buttons. And here in the game, it's given, your friend offers you marijuana. You're curious, but you know the consequences, so you don't take it. That's the correct button, and right here, I have the correct set of arrays. Input is given when the user clicks either one of the buttons. When a button is clicked, my program checks to see which Boolean variable is set true when that button is clicked. For instance here, by clicking on the first set of incorrect buttons, so if we click on any incorrect button right here, the Boolean variable for incorrect button pushed will be set true, and for right here, it checks to see which set of incorrect buttons was pushed. This one in particular belongs to the first one, and if this first incorrect button is pushed, then it will set this incorrect scenario 1 to true. And right here you see a response with GUI. It represents the loss sequence, as you saw it before. And here is where I declare all my variables. These are all my Boolean variables for the incorrect scenarios and my J buttons. Just to look over again, if you click this incorrect button, it will respond with GUI, which is what I just described earlier. For my programming specific operators, this if-else block right here checks which incorrect scenario we're on. J represents a set of integers belonging to the set of arrays that I had shown you earlier. For instance, this interval right here, J is greater than or equal to 0 and J is less than 1, belongs to the first incorrect scenario, which I'll show right here. By using that interval, it determines which incorrect scenario to show if the user clicks on the first incorrect button. Okay, and here is a brief overview of my program. You see right here, this main method, it creates my panel. Then I have my class menu panel. This contains the majority of my code. It also implements action listener. More code. I have my paint component, which draws things to my panel. Then here's a unique method I created myself. It's a method called buttons, and it checks to see if when the Boolean variable is true, it will set another set of Boolean variables true, which is all contained in my paint component. And right here I have my action event which responds to the action listener, and this checks to see if the J button was pressed in the first place. In regards to feedback from my game, I sought the feedback from one of my junior friends. Here he's right here. He's my friend named Oliver, and from my advisor, Mr. Stiver. They told me what drugs I should include in my game, some information about negative impacts of drugs, and they also gave me the idea of creating the board itself. So thank you for listening to my video, and I hope you enjoyed it.